Previously on the All Drivers Career Mode. Oh, okay. Felipe Nasr. We're going to be driving a Sauber.
Oh god, no. Oh, look at that rain. Spin. Kvyat got slightly better start to go side by side, and he dives bomb pretty much everyone into turn 1. But we're going to dive bomb Ricciardo at the hairpin. He sees us going backside of it the most, and it cost me those. So we just twitched, we just got on the power a bit too much. Unfortunately, we try and get the apex in the second part, and I didn't realise Verstappen was there, and we've both spun each other. But Ricciardo's going for the pit lane instead. It's completely Maldonado us. Ericsson pinning out. Oh, we're going to be held up as well. Oh, no. But unfortunately, Ericsson's going to get us. We're going to get beaten by our teammate, Marcus Ericsson.
What's going on, guys? Bombson87 here, and I'm here with the third part of my All Drivers Career Mode. We are now at China for the Chinese Grand Prix. And if you haven't already, go check out the previous race in Malaysia. It was an interesting round, even if it wasn't the best result. It was still a good race, so go check it out. But anyway, we're now going to go to the spin wheel to see what driver we picked for the Chinese Grand Prix. Alright, this is to decide what driver I'll be using for the Chinese Grand Prix. As you can see, Felipe Nasr and Romain Grosjean are no longer in this driver position wheel chart. So now let's find out who we'll be using for the Chinese Grand Prix. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Kimi Raikkonen. So hopefully, with the Ferrari, I'm hoping to have a good race, finally get a win in this season. So now let's get to the race itself. As you heard there, that was the live reaction I had to the spin wheel for the third round of this All Drivers Career Mode. Now we're driving as Kimi Raikkonen in the Ferrari, so the second best team on the grid for the 2015 season. We need to maximise this result now for the Chinese Grand Prix. China, though, is not a track I particularly enjoy driving at, if I'm honest. It's a very difficult track and haven't had a really good history here. So as you can see, this is Q1, so we're trying to get through the session on set prime tyres. And as you can see there, the game was actually pretty effective with the penalty rule, disallowing my lap time for slight corner cut. That's very slight, even though for bigger corner cuts you get away with it. So not really consistent, but it's heading in the right direction, I guess. And as you can see, for the second run, we emerged in pretty much a big, massive traffic jam. So at the end of the first lap, we set a 1:39. So that's not really that quick, if I'm honest. So we're going for another lap there. So we're going to fast forward to the end of the lap there. So we went very wide in turn 1. I like the wide line going for turn 1 there. I used to not like that one. I used to hate it, but I'm going to actually not mind it. But at the end, on that flying lap, we actually caught to the back of Mary, who we luckily caught in the DRS zone, so we could just fly past him on the back straight. And we set a much better lap time, a 1:38.6, which should comfortably get us through into the next qualifying session, which it does actually. We qualified 4th in the session, with Romain Grosjean just behind us, and usual casualties come out, though weirdly, both Saubers were 18th and 19th, beaten by Will the Lad Stevens. So Will Stevens get a shout out for that qualifying performance, qualifying himself from P17. Good job by him there. He definitely deserves a promotion for that performance. But now going on to Q2, we're on a set of option tyres, opening DRS as we're going to begin this flying lap. And this, I only did one flying lap this session. It was actually a pretty good lap, if I don't say so myself. But as you'll see in a minute, Q3, there was an even better lap. So I won't show the whole of this lap, just the first couple of corners as we go through the snail section there. Go very early, the power very nice. We go wide on the curb, but we maintain the speed. So now cut up to the end of the lap, go open the DRS once again, and we go fast. So 1:37.6 is a very quick lap time, so we're going to retire from that. And as you can see, it got us first in the session, nearly 2 seconds faster than our teammates, Sebastian Vettel. So we have good pace around here, at least 1 lap pace. But as you can see there, it was raining towards the end of Q2. We got a lap out very quickly, so that might be why the AI were a little bit slow later in the session. But as you can see there, it's wet conditions. As you'll be able to see, this is my setup I'm using. So is it wet or is it inters? We're about to find out. And it is full wet conditions. Extremely tricky. If I hadn't done the Sepang race with mostly wet, then it would I would have found it pretty difficult. But as you can see there, even the traction, even this Ferrari, which probably is, has good traction, just struggling there. And actually has bad traction at the final corner. But this, I have to admit, is one of the best laps I think I've done in a long while. So I'm going to shut up now, guys. I'm going to let you enjoy this pretty good lap, if I don't say myself, and see where it gets me on the grid. Coming to the end of that lap now, one of the best laps I think I've done on an F1 game, and it is a 1:49.0, I believe. It might not seem like much, that lap time, but considering where it gets me on the grid and the gaps, it is actually pretty good, and it is really tricky conditions as well, as you're about to see on the exit of lap 3, as I make a bit of a mistake, too much power, and I spin out and actually break a little bit of my front wing, as you can see there for the damage. So it's very tricky conditions, but nonetheless I get pole position for the race, 2.5 seconds ahead of the nearest AI of Nico Rosberg. Hamilton's down in 5th place, so hopefully we can maximise on that as he's starting a bit down the order. So that's a brilliant result. Hopefully we can maintain it for the race. So here we are on the grid for the Chinese Grand Prix. We're sat on pole position in our Ferrari, and as you can see, the strategy is all normal. We've got two option stints and a prime stint, so a 3-stop strategy, which is fairly typical of this game actually. I'm just selecting our setup there. So now we're going to go onto track, and we're going to face the 5 red lights to start this race. The lights are coming on now. We've got 5 lights. We're waiting quite a while, and away we go. And we get a fairly terrible start. Rosberg has already got the jump on us, and there's no proximity error. There's Basser coming up the inside. He's got the outside line. We're going to hold around the outside of him. And can we have a look at Rosberg as well? We try and have a look at Rosberg, but we run quite wide. That's allowed Massa to get just in front of us, but we hold it down his inside. Get very close to the slipper once again, but no contact. And we're at the P2, but unfortunately we've lost the lead of this race. It's not what we wanted. We wanted to be out front and controlling the race from the front, and unfortunately the bad starts but the good start the AI always seem to get in every F1 game pretty much. Rosberg's just jumped us. Simple as that really. And now we're going to try and follow him through the first sector, but I don't know how, but Rosberg's already got a big lead. We did understeer quite a bit through that section. Obviously we've got heavy fuel, so we will understeer quite a bit more. And we have to take a bit of a tighter line through there. A very tricky traction zone there is, by the way. But we've already dropped Massa quite a bit, so we have still got a good pace. But Rosberg is still flying, really. It's like, I think it's over a second ahead of me already. and he's going to gain even more time through the traction zone onto this back straight. So I don't know why the AI seem to have good traction through there literally all the time, I've noticed. We're going up the back straight now, and we have a sizable gap over Massa behind, so it's not too bad, not the end of the world. But remember, we still do want to win this race, so we're going to try and hunt down Rosberg at all costs. We lock up a little bit, and slightly wide, but we keep 2 wheels on track there. Right now, going towards the end of lap 1, but
it was at this moment that he knew.
The game
fucked up.
What is that? Rosberg has gone into the pit lane. Why? It's the end of lap 1. We're now into the lead of the race. Why has Rosberg gone into the pits? Looks like Hamilton has stayed out behind us. Massa has also gone to the pits. It's bizarre. And then now the end of lap 2, Hamilton's quite close behind us. Close up a little bit on that lap. But will he go to the pit lane? It's time to tell, as we've got quite poor traction at the hairpin. And yes, you can see the proximity arrows. He went to the pit lane. I'm not sure why. Is this a glitch? Is it like the Melbourne glitch? I didn't cancel between race and qualifying here, so I'm not sure why this is happening. But I decided to screw and just kept with it pretty much, and just stuck to the strategy. So the end of lap 6, start of lap 7, we go into the pit lane, and well, when I say stuck to the strategy, we did alter it slightly. As I thought, I might as well get this prime stint out of the window within our second stint, so we have 2 fast prime option stints to the end, as I was thinking, and hopefully we control this race outwards. But we're on the track now in P8. We've got Massa behind us. The 2 Mercedes obviously have jumped us using the massive undercut of about 5 laps they had. So it looks like Rosberg and Hamilton's in front of him. I don't know how Hamilton got in front, seeing so Rosberg had the undercut. But now it's slightly later on that lap, we've got a yellow flag, and that's a car spun out there on the left. It's Jensen Button, so he must have stayed out. There were quite a few cars that are affected by this glitch or whatever it is. I think there was mainly midfield teams. I think Kvyat was the highest placed one there, not affected. But here we go. This is the onboard replay, and this is how Jensen Button was able to spin. He's battling with Lewis Hamilton, fighting his way through the traffic. They're going side by side there through the section, but then there's not good driving by Hamilton, as he completely cuts across Jensen Button. I don't know how he hasn't got a penalty for that. I don't know if he has. We'll find out at the end. That is his fault, but he does slightly redeem himself by moving himself past, I think that's Felipe Nasr, with a very nice move around the outside of turn 1. So that's good for Hamilton there. And it's just slightly up the road from myself. And here we are. That's the exact same moment as Hamilton passed the Sauber. I'm going across the start-finish line to start lap 8, as we now move to P4 as several people pitted, including I think our teammate Vettel, who's there behind us. And now the following lap we move up to P3. No, sorry, P2. As Hamilton as well as Nasr pit. So I don't know why Hamilton's pitting again so early. He's now got 100 cuts on his teammates. So it looks like Hamilton's got a faster car this race so far. As you can see, we went up to P1 there. So lap 13, we're controlling the race. We're about 10 seconds ahead of Hamilton, both Mercedes, on their weird strategy they're doing. Still can't work it out, like why they're pitting lap 1. They must have had enormous tyre wear like I had in Melbourne, but it must have affected them and not me for some reason. Not quite sure why. But we stretch out our prime stint. I think the Mercedes are slowly catching up. Obviously, they're on options during the stint. But at the end of lap 15, we're into the pit lane now to go on to a set of option tyres. As we've got away, will we maintain the lead? Not quite sure. I think there's a few people in the pits behind us. Might be Rosberg. As we go check the race director, see where everyone is. Everyone's on the option tyres, by the way. And everyone's made about 2-3 stops, except there was someone on 1 stop there. I didn't quite see who it was. I think Will Stevens only made 1 stop as well. It's a bit odd. We were rejoining the lead as Ricardo, I think, hasn't pitted yet, and rejoined just in front of him. But we were in slightly wide on the cold tyres. Ricardo's trying to get the inside line, but we just cut in front of him. We don't want any more battles, any more mistakes for Ricardo. Don't want to spin again off him. So we're just trying to keep in front, not battling too much, but we got poor traction out of that corner. Once again on the cold tyres, Ricardo's well behind us, but we do keep in front of him, going to the hairpin. I think slightly cut that corner, so apologies there. But on our fresher tyres now, we're pulled away from him. We have in fact done that. And now to lap 17, Ricardo's still behind us, is fortunately holding up both Mercedes, I think. But as you'll see in a minute, looks like Hamilton will get in front of Ricardo. As you'll just about to see there, as I move it down to standard mix, do I? I'm not quite sure. But anyway, race strategy wise, as he might, I don't think he saw before, but the engineer came on the radio saying that rain would be about 10 minutes time. from that last clip. So I was trying to, at this point I'm trying to stretch out the option tyres as long as I can to try and match it with the transition to the wet weather pretty much. And now I'm up 22. You can see the rain is falling. There's a few drops spitting over the camera lens. Hamilton and Rosberg, I think, are making a pit stop at the end of this lap. See now they're 21 seconds behind us. They've already made a pit stop onto the dry tyres. They have not gone onto wet tyres. And as you can see, our tyres are pretty much gone. Our front tyres are ice blue. I actually thought this was 1 lap too early for chasing into the Inters, but I had no choice. The tyres are pretty much gone and I didn't want to risk a puncture, especially when I'm out in the lead. So I thought I'll pit 1 lap earlier than all the rest of the AI, get onto a set of intermediates, and then control things out the front for the rest of this race. So here we go. We went slightly wide on the entrance to the pit lane. We sort of did a Hamilton there, but luckily we didn't get trapped in the gravel as Ferrari did made 2.3 second pit stop. And looks like Hamilton will get in front of us there, but he is on the dry tyres and we're still going to make at least another pit stop onto the wet tyres. So we still have effectively the race lead, which is important. We still want this race win. We want no mistakes as we get out in front of Rosberg. That's good so he doesn't hold us up. So we get slightly wide, but is this the right tyre compound? Looks like it. Looks like we've just gone off grip, even though the traction's poor on that corner. But Rosberg, it looks like, doesn't seem to be able to keep up with us. So he's struggling as well on these in these slippery conditions. So I think we have made the right strategy call at the moment. Hamilton's only about 4 seconds up the road. But this is a real tester through this S section now, whether we've got good grip. It looks like we have. We're maintaining good speed through there. So this is the right tyre compound to go on 1 lap for all the rest of the AI. It's a good risk and it's paid off. And as you can see, we're going to skip all the way to the end of the race. So it's a fairly boring race if I'm honest, guys. But this is crucial for our championship. We're going to get the race win as we just lapped the Sainz there, who led us by quite easily. So not much action, guys, but it's important we got the race win. It's only a couple of corners left. We're perfectly fine in fuel. We actually had in excess of fuel in pretty much all race. I was very good at fuel saving and tyre saving during the race as well, especially on the extended option stints midway through. So we had very good pace. Even without that glitch, I reckon we would have got past and beat Mercedes Day. Another little glitch here as well. Looks like quite a few of the AI are pitting on the final lap. Not quite sure why, but who cares about them? We're going to come across the line and win as Kimi Räikkönen, our first race win in our all drivers career mode. Brilliant stuff. 25 points, as you can see. Kimi Räikkönen delighted with his results, climbing to the top of the podium. And we beat Mercedes. The only downside is that Hamilton got second place. So unfortunately, after 2 race wins already this season, very consistent, and he's going to be on, I think 68 points, so it's going to be very hard to topple. And even though we got some points on him, we're going to have to hope Hamilton has some serious bad luck this season, or at least in the next couple of races, if I want any chance of toppling him, really. But here we are, we're going to go to the race results now, and I finished first ahead of both Mercedes. Daniel Ricciardo up there, finishing a P4, so that's good for him. Red Bull in front of actually a teammate of Sebastian Vettel. And you can see down the results there, someone got a penalty. I'm not quite sure who that was, as everyone made about 5 or 6 stops that race, except me. I made about 3 or 4, can't quite remember, but it looks like pretty much all the drivers affected by a little glitch there. And as you can see, actually, everyone made the transition onto the wet tyres at the end. Not quite sure what they did it on the last lap for, but well. What can you do? You can't argue with the game. So it's a very, very good race, guys. I'm very pleased with it. So please smash the like button if you enjoyed that and if you're looking forward to the Bahrain Grand Prix. And please subscribe if you're new. And we're going to finish things off by looking at the Drivers' Championship standings. And I've moved back into 3rd place behind both Mercedes, very close behind Rosberg now, only 5 points. So hopefully I can catch and topple both Mercedes to win this Drivers' World Championship. Can I do it, guys? I guess I'll find out. See you guys later. Palms out.